Ever wonder about owning gold? But like, in a way you could actually use day to day, not just stuck in a vault somewhere. Welcome to the deep dive. We got some really interesting info comparing Goldbacks and fractional gold bullion, and that's what we're digging into today. The main thing we'll unpack is this. One's really designed as, spendable money. The other, mostly investment. So let's get started.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The core purpose is immediately different. Goldbacks, based on what you sent over, they're really intended as practical currency for like everyday transactions, buying a coffee, maybe paying for a small service. That's the niche they're aiming for.
Right, so it's not just about the gold itself sitting there. It's meant to actually move around, be used. How does that contrast with fractional bullion then? Those smaller gold bits, coins or bars.
Well, fractional bullion has a totally different job, really. It's much more about holding on to wealth. A store of value, something you'd probably keep for the longer term. The info suggests it's generally not the first thing someone grabs to pay for groceries.
Okay, yeah, that spending versus saving difference is clear. What about actually using them, though? Liquidity. How easy is it?
Ah, that's a really critical point. Accessibility. The material we looked at really highlights an edge for Goldbacks here. Apparently, thousands of businesses across the U.S. accept them directly. Like, you just hand them over.
Wow, okay. That sounds pretty seamless. But fractional bullion, it's not that simple, is it?
No, not usually. The information points out that if you want to use that gold's value, you typically have to sell it first or exchange it for regular cash. And that process, well, it can take time. Plus, there might be costs involved, fees.
Right, okay. So ease of use definitely seems tilted towards goldbacks. Let's switch gears to security. I mean, gold is gold, but are these forms secured differently?
That's another interesting area. Goldbacks seem to have specific security measures built in.
Yeah.
The info mentions they're designed to be durable, easier to handle day to day, and have anti-counterfeiting tech. And kind of surprisingly, there's even mention of a warranty. Like they might replace damaged ones.
Yeah. A warranty on a gold note, that's
Yes.
definitely unusual. What about regular fractional bullion then, security-wise?
Well, the materials suggest standard fractional gold doesn't typically come with that kind of warranty. And, without those specific built-in features, it could potentially be more vulnerable to counterfeiting. It's just a different risk profile.
Okay, let's talk value. Both have gold, so there's that base value. But the info hinted goldbacks might have something extra.
Exactly. The argument presented is that a goldback's value isn't just its gold content. Its usefulness as actual currency adds a layer. And as more people and businesses start using them, well, this network effect could potentially boost their value beyond just the gold spot price.
That's a really interesting angle, like the value of a payment network almost. And fractional bullion doesn't have that.
With fractional bullion, the value is pretty much directly tied to the gold price at that moment. And the material notes that any premium you paid when buying it, you might not get that back when you sell. Plus, yeah, it doesn't benefit from that growing user network value that goldbacks might have.
Which brings us to the whole idea of, like, currency. The information seems to frame goldbacks as something more than just tiny gold pieces, part of a movement.
That's right. The material definitely paints them as part of a conscious effort to create an inflation-resistant currency backed by gold for actual regular use. There's a community building around it, an ecosystem of businesses signing on. It's purposeful.
In fractional bullion, it just doesn't have that same mission behind it.
According to the information, no. It holds its value as gold, of course, but it lacks that active community push, the network of places ready to take it directly for a transaction. It wasn't designed for that functional currency role.
So wrapping it up, it sounds like fractional bullion is still, a solid investment route for gold. But goldbacks offer something quite different. It's about making gold spendable, accessible for everyday things.
Exactly. The takeaway from the material seems to be that goldbacks blend gold ownership with genuine usability in a way traditional fractional bullion doesn't. It suggests goldbacks might even hint at, maybe, a future direction for how fractional gold could work in today's economy.
It's definitely something to think about. Imagine, using a form of gold for your morning coffee. What does that change about how we think about money and value? Really interesting stuff. Thanks for this deep dive.